Hey, what's going on, Scatterbrains? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scatterbrains. See, my name is Travis, and I am back to do a review for Married at First Sight, Desperation Island, Season 1, Episode 3. I missed 90 Day Fiancé. I'm going to try to catch up, maybe. I got a lot going on, so I'm going to try to catch up and see if I can go ahead and get that review taken care of. So let's get some housekeeping things out of the way. Number one, I want to give a shout out to my boo, my baby, my love, my snickerdoodle, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife, and wish her a happy anniversary. Our anniversary is tomorrow, November 7th. We've been married for 3 years come tomorrow. Just want to let you know that I love you so, so much. I'm so appreciative for everything you've done for me and our daughter. And cheers to 3 years times 3 times 3 times 3, you know, and all of that jazz. So that's number one. Second thing, my eye, don't know why it's like pink right now. No clue. But hey, just thought I'd point that out so y'all don't have to point it out. No, I don't have conjunctivitis. It's just like that right now. All right, so on to tonight's episode. I was bored by tonight's episode, you know, just being honest. I'm not really sure. Like, reviewing this show, I really haven't found my lane on how to review this show because I don't feel like it's much of anything going on. It feels like the producers of the show are just trying to find anything they can possibly do to make the show more interesting, because I think that they found that the people that they casted for this show are not as interesting as they thought they would be. And second thing I was wondering regarding the show is, why are there no fat people on Honeymoon Island? Like, why are there no plus size, overweight people on this show? I mean, you know, everybody looks like they pretty much stepped off the page of Instagram. And I get it, you know, you want the quote sex appeal so people can watch. You know, that's pretty much why everybody's in a bikini or shirtless the whole time. But I just thought about, this is not an actual depiction of, you know, America. I mean, yeah, y'all have different ethnicities, but everybody up here is like what will be considered attractive. But where are the large people? Where are they at? I mean, you know, maybe that's what's wrong with this show. I don't think I've seen, on regular Married First Sight, I don't think I've seen a couple matched that was overweight or large in any capacity. That's something to think about. Why is there discrimination for weight? All right, anyway, so that's that. So the couples as a group, they travel to a waterfall. Don't know what that waterfall is, but they travel there. I really don't have a lot for people. Eric and Katie, they talk about their love language, and they talk about, you know, physical touch being the thing that they enjoy the most. I guess this whole episode was really about affection, kind of. But I mean, they're the couple that just is neglected. Like, we don't see much of them. And when they were on the screen, I wasn't really paying attention because everybody on the show is boring. There's nothing interesting going on. I mean, tonight's episode was boring. You know, it just is what it is. So I think, you know, based off what I've seen so far, Lifetime should just, you know, just let this be it. Don't try this again, because y'all are just trying to manufacture stuff and it's just not working. Isabella and Tyler, at the beginning of the episode, they hadn't kissed. They eventually did kiss by the end of the episode. He says that she makes him a better man because she'll wake him up in the middle of the night to tell him to put the toilet seat down. And I'm just like, if when me and Carmen were dating, I wish you would wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning because the toilet seat was up. If you don't put your arms and hands to work and put that toilet seat down and do what you got to do and going back to bed, I'm not getting out the bed for anyone to go put a toilet seat down. You're not waking me up out of my good sleep just to tell me to go put the toilet seat down. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. So that's not making you a better man. That's interrupting your sleep. That is not making you a better man. Their dynamic is really just cringeworthy sometimes to look at, because I don't know what it is about her. Like, she just seems real anal, and I'm tired of seeing her already. They talked about their upbringing for a moment. And they started kind of talking about politics, and she was saying, I don't know what she was saying, and I don't care. Y'all can leave it down in the comments. Moving on. Shannon and Kimber, They talked about their love language. I mean, I feel like they were on the screen for a nice amount of time, and I didn't write down anything that they were talking about because I was just like tired of seeing y'all too. Somebody put down in the comments that they saw her curves in the gray dress. Well, they did a back shot of her when he was like pinching her butt, and I'm still trying to find the curves. I did not see this. Some of y'all don't know what curves really mean because that ain't it. Chris and Jada. Oh, I should have started with them because that's who it ended with last week. So, of course, you know, last week Jocelyn showed up because the producers put a bug in her ear. But nothing happened of it. Chris decided that he was still rocking with Jada. He felt like, yes, the connection with Jocelyn was deeper, but he didn't know how genuine it was. And he pointed out the fact that Jocelyn never brought up his daughter, whereas Jada inquired about him having a daughter. So I guess that was the determining factor for him. So, you know, hey, good for them. So, you know, she left, I guess, maybe, you know, maybe she'll pop up, you know, in another 3 episodes. He tells Jada that he's 100% confident in his decision, you know, well, choosing her. He's confident in that decision, and they agree to not talk about the whole Jocelyn thing anymore, which I think is a smart thing to do on their part. Deal with it and move on and don't bring it back up. So hopefully, you know, they stick to that and it doesn't come back up later. At some point or other later in the episode, he was talking about how he sees his daughter in Jada's eyes, and he started to get like teary-eyed about it. And it was at that point where I felt like, okay, dude, you're doing a little bit much. You blowing a little bit too much smoke up this girl's butt right now. I mean, you see your daughter in her eyes. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand what that means. So maybe y'all can break it down for me because, you know, I am a little slow. And moving on to the final couple, which was Jonna and Brandon. I feel like tonight's episode was more so about them. They connected at the waterfall, talked about the hurricane. I guess there was a hurricane. I want to say it was Hurricane Thomas that went through the St. Lucia area. So they kind of talked about that. And they talked about their upbringing in regards to affection. She's not very affectionate. She's not that kind of person. She's okay with holding hands, but, you know, to a certain point, it becomes a bit much. But he's kind of like the opposite of that. He talks about the affection that he shows with his dad. He's 35 years old and he still kisses his dad on the lips. I don't understand that. I don't understand kissing children on the lips. Like, that's not something my family did, so that's just not our norm. I would be very uncomfortable to kiss my mother or my father on the lips. However, when I was still living at home, and even when I would come home from college and I told them goodnight, I would give them a kiss on the cheek, you know, as my way of saying, you know, good night, or a kiss on the forehead. But I would not ever give either of them a kiss on the lips. Like, I just think that's, for me, it's weird to kiss, for parents to kiss their children on the lips. I feel like the lips are a very sacred place. And secondly, y'all don't know what we've been doing with our lips, and I don't know what my parents were doing with their lips, and I don't want to know. So, I mean, I just could not imagine being 35, kissing my dad, you know, if he was still living, kissing my dad on the lips. Like, you know, but hey, it's not a culture thing, as Brandon was saying. That's just their thing. That's just his family's way of showing affection, which is, you know, to each his own, but it wouldn't work for me. So she talks to Dr. Jessica because she's not over the previous pain from her last relationship, and that seems to have caused a large connection on why she's not as affectionate. So Dr. Jessica gets the idea to call Brandon's mom to come to the island. And I'm like, okay, so this is this week's shenanigans. This is this week's ploy, this week's little pop-up thing y'all want to do. So last week it was Jocelyn. This week is Brandon's mom. They bring Brandon's mom in because they feel like it's going to help. And it really doesn't do anything, but, you know, she gets a moment with her mom, and her mom grills Jonna on who he is. And it's all well and good. You know, they did a whole lot of the dramatic, next on Married at First Sight. And everybody's like, oh my gosh. And it was just her mama. So, I mean, I'm over the show at this point. I really am. I'm still going to try to press forward. But, you know, this show is it's missing something. And I don't know what it is. It might be fat people, but this show is missing something to make it interesting and to give it like a decent spark. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I know this review may not be great. You know, hey, it is what it is. But I don't see it for this show right now. So like I said, tomorrow is my anniversary. We celebrated last weekend, and then this coming up weekend is Tegan's birthday. We'll be celebrating her birthday on Saturday. But her birthday is this Friday. Her birthday is 2 days after our anniversary. So that's what I have going on top of everything else that, we'll talk about later. But thank y'all for watching this video. If you have any questions, you already know what to do. Leave them down in the comments, or you can send me an email to scatterbrilliancy@yahoo.com. If you have suggestions, leave it down there or send an email. If you want to do Ask Travis, which most of y'all, all of y'all don't, you can send an email. Make sure you rate, like the video, rate, subscribe. If you're not already, subscribe to the channel. And I hope all of y'all got out and voted today or during early voting. I did, and I hope you did as well and exercised your right. Excuse me. But I'm going to go ahead and lay it on down, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.